The birth of Samson is a fascinating story from the Old Testament that can be found in the book of Judges, chapter 13, in the Bible. At the time, Israel was under the oppression of the Philistines, an enemy people. The angel of the Lord appeared to a woman from the tribe of Dan, who was barren, and announced that she would conceive and bear a son specially destined to deliver Israel from the Philistines. This woman is often referred to as the wife of Manoah. The angel spoke about the unique nature of the son, outlining some special instructions that a woman should follow during pregnancies. The instructions were abstention from wine and strong drink. The woman was instructed to abstain from wine and strong drink, indicating that she should follow a lifestyle of abstinence during pregnancy and not eat impure things. She was also advised not to eat anything impure, indicating that her diet should be carefully chosen during this special period and to avoid hair and razor. The angel instructed the woman not to cut the hair of the child and not to allow a razor to touch his head, symbolizing the special consecration of the boy to the Lord. Furthermore, the angel explained that the son would be a Nazirite dedicated to God from the womb to the day of his death. The term Nazirite refers to someone consecrated to God with special vows, including abstaining from certain things and fulfilling specific religious practices. This visit of the angel and the divine instructions laid the foundation for the remarkable story of Samson, whose birth was marked by divine intervention and special purposes. The Bible mentions that the Spirit of the Lord began to move upon Samson from his youth, Judges 13 verse 2. This indication suggests that even in his younger years, he already showed signs of the supernatural strength that would characterize him later in life. Samson's adolescence may have been a preparation for the significant events that would occur in his adult life, including his remarkable physical feats and his role as a judge of Israel. Samson's story highlights divine intervention and God's purposes in Israel's history. Samson's role in Israel is primarily associated with his role as a judge. In biblical tradition, judges were charismatic leaders who emerged in times of crisis to guide the people of Israel. Samson's function as a judge was to free Israel from the oppression of the Philistines, who dominated the region at that time. However, his story is marked by questionable personal choices and moral weaknesses, especially in relation to women. Samson became known for his incredible physical strength, which was a divine gift. He used this strength to perform remarkable feats, such as killing a lion with his bare hands and defeating a large number of Philistines in various battles. The narrative describes Samson and his parents going to Timnah, where Samson encounters a young lion roaring against him. The text highlights that the Spirit of the Lord came upon Samson, giving him extraordinary strength. Samson, without any weapon, tears the lion apart as if he were tearing a young goat. This story demonstrates Samson's supernatural strength, a gift bestowed upon him by the extraordinary Spirit of the Lord. Additionally, the fact that Samson did not reveal this feat to his parents underscores the divine nature of his strength. This story is just one of many that illustrate the power given by God to Samson to fulfill his role as a judge and deliverer of Israel. The Bible relates that Samson had various relationships with women, but does not specify if he had a girlfriend in the modern sense of the term. The biblical account highlights 3 cases in Samson's life: the Timnite woman, the Philistine woman from the city of Timnah, and the prostitute of Gaza. During a visit to Gaza, one of the most well-known of Samson's relationships, he fell in love with her, but their relationship ultimately proved treacherous. The initial encounter between Samson and Delilah is recommended in the book of Judges, chapter 16, in the Bible. However, the narrative shifts to the consequences of the relationship between Samson and Delilah, especially her betrayal and the consequences for Samson and the people of Israel. The plot takes a tragic turn when Delilah is bribed by the Philistine leaders to discover the secret of Samson's supernatural strength. She persists in asking Samson about the source of his strength, and he eventually yields to her pleas, revealing that his Nazirite vow involves not cutting his hair. When Delilah learned this, she cut Samson's hair while he slept. Losing his hair, Samson lost the supernatural strength that God had granted him. Then he called to Delilah, "Samson, the Philistines are upon you." Samson awoke from his sleep and thought, I will go out as at other times and shake myself free." But he did not know that the Lord had left him. So the Philistines seized Samson, gouged out his eyes, and brought him down to Gaza. They bound him with bronze shackles, and he became a grinder in the prison. Samson cried out to the Lord and said, "O Lord God, please remember me and please strengthen me just this time. O God, that I may at once be avenged of the Philistines for my 2 eyes." Judges 16 verse 28 ESV. At that moment, Samson was standing between the pillars of the Philistine temple, where a great assembly of Philistines had gathered. He prayed to God one last time for strength to perform an act that would cause his own death and that of many Philistines. Samson then pushed the pillars, bringing down the temple and sacrificing his life in an act of vengeance against the enemies of Israel. Judges 16 verses 29 to 30. This is the climax of Samson's story, where he demonstrated his final trust in God despite his own weaknesses and choices. Here are some key points of this story that can serve as a source of motivation, strength, and determination. Samson is known for his supernatural strength granted by the Spirit of the Lord. His story motivates people to recognize the importance of physical and mental strength, as well as determination to overcome challenges. Trust in God. Samson's story highlights trust in God even amidst personal failures. Samson's final prayer before bringing down the temple underscores the importance of trust in God even in seemingly hopeless situations. Consequences of choices. Samson's choices, including questionable relationships, are followed by severe consequences. His story serves as a reminder of the implications of our actions and the importance of making wise choices. Redemption and forgiveness. Despite Samson's failures, his story also highlights the possibility of redemption. His final act of seeking God's strength results in an act of courage and redemption, motivating people to believe in the possibility of redemption even after difficult times. Dealing with personal weaknesses. Samson's narrative highlights his personal weaknesses, especially in relation to women. This motivates people to reflect on their own weaknesses and seek constructive ways to deal with them. Leadership and freedom. Samson is recognized as a judge of Israel who played a crucial role in the liberation of the people of Israel from Philistine oppression. His story motivates people to reflect on brilliant leadership and the desire to fight for freedom and justice. Acknowledgement of human frailty. Samson's story also highlights human frailty and the need to accept personal limitations. This can motivate people